Okay. So, Kulakshetra Alvar is a great devotee of Lord Ranganatha, and he is one of the prominent acharyas, prominent alvars in the Vaishnava philosophy, in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam. He is one of the prominent personalities, and he was a king by himself. Even though he was engaged in so many different administrative activities, every day there was a declaration, there was a announcement in their state. He was staying near Srirangam, and every day there was an announcement that Gushyate Yashya Nagare Rangayatra Dine Dine Tamaham Sirasha Vande Rajanam Kulashekaram. So that is how Kulakshetra Alvar is praised, is honored, is respected. So what it says is, in that state, where in that particular uh, place where Raja Kulashekar was ruling, every day there was announcement. What was the announcement? Gushyate. Gushyate means announcement was there. What was the Yasya Nagare? In whose country, in whose state, every day there was an announcement that today there will be Rangayatra. Today the king will come for taking darshan of Ranganathji. So even within his busy schedule, the king every day he will announce that I will today he will wish that I will go for darshan of Ranganath. But the entire day passes away with some busy work, some administrative work, some activities. The day goes away. Next day again he will announce, today I will go for Ranganatha Darshan. Again the whole day passes away. Next day again he will announce that today I will go for Rangayatra, Darshan of Sri Ranganatha. So this shows, even though he was taking care of all his assigned duties, always in his mind he was desiring to take darshan of Sri Ranganathji. So this is how we can understand. So that's why that particular verse says, Tamaham Shirasha Vande. I bow down. I offer my obeisances onto that great personality, Rajanam Kulashekaram, that great king, Kulashekara. I offer my respectful obeisances. That's how Kulashekara Alvar is worshipped, is offered respects. So one of his compositions, he has many pastimes have happened. How Lord personally comes and in various activities, how he was getting deeply involved while while listening to various pastimes of the Lord. So it is mentioned that there is no difference between the Lord and his pastimes. No difference between the name of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, the um, the remnants of the Lord, prasadam. Okay, so all of them are considered to be the same. The same in the sense they are identical. There is no difference. The Lord is called absolute truth. So this is something we need to understand, that whatever we see in the entire creation, whatever in our experience, none of them is absolute truth. In the sense, none of them are permanent in by itself, whether it is form or time or qualities, in any form. In our experience, there is nothing which is absolute, which never changes. But the Lord is so specific, so special, so different that he is called absolute truth. Truth means something which doesn't change. If something changes, you can't call it as truth. And Lord is something which is called absolute truth. He never changes. There is no change in the Lord. Okay. So this is the whole concept of Vedic system, is to understand the spiritual nature of the Supreme Lord and the spiritual nature of the living entity who is of the same nature as the Supreme Lord. And the whole reactions in the material world, the difficulties or the pains or the anxieties, what we see in this world or any one of us experience, that is all because we identify ourselves with the non-permanent, with the non-absolute. So this identification is called conditioning. It is like one may identify themselves as Indian. And if there is a cricket match between India and Pakistan, India is winning, you become very happy. And if Pakistan is winning, you become morose. Even there are extreme cases, people take extreme steps for even such cases. So the question is, has it actually affected you? It's not. Then why are you so disturbed or so elated based on certain happenings? That's because you identify yourself with that, and anything happening to that, you consider that's happening to you. If they win, you think you won. If they lost, you think you lost. If some problem, you think it's your problem. You consider that becomes your personal, that becomes you. So this aspect is called conditioning. And this naturally happens with anybody and everybody depending on their association. So if we constantly associate with something, we start feeling that I am this. So it could be your uh, your profession, it could be your nationality, it could be your community, it could be anything that you it may be that thinking that I'm a male or a female, any of such things. When you constantly associate yourself with a particular understanding, then at some point of time you start thinking I am so and so, right? So for example, if you blaspheme that a truck driver, the whole truck drivers will come together. If you blaspheme, for example, a auto driver, so the whole auto drivers will come together. So why? Because they identify themselves with that particular thing. That is called conditioning. So in reality, that may have nothing to do with you, but because you identify yourself with that, you think that's what is you. Okay. So this is what is conditioning. So when we associate with the matter, it is mentioned that there are three kinds of energies of the Lord. One is called a superior energy. One is called a inferior energy. And the third one is called a middle energy. The middle energy, which is also called Tatastha Shakti of the Lord, has a nature. It belongs to the superior energy. That is the Parashakti of the Lord. But so the Lord has three types of energy. So though it belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, it has a tendency of conditioning. That is, if it associates with the lower energy of the Lord, it starts identifying itself as the part of the lower energy. If it associates with the superior energy of the Lord, that's the Lord himself, then it will start identifying itself with the superior energy itself. The nature of the superior energy is never changing. That is what the Lord is. Lord is absolute truth, never changes. No change in the Lord. The nature of these.
Could you explain one more time the three energies a little more clearly?
Yeah.
If possible, any examples too.
Yeah. Parashakti, Aparashakti, and Tatastha Shakti. These are the three energies of the Lord. Okay. The Parashakti, the superior energy, which is also called the spiritual energy of the Lord, is never changing, is eternally the same. It is called Sachidananda, which is filled with bliss, eternal in nature, and which is full of knowledge. That's what is called Sachidananda Swarupam. The Lord is of the superior energy. The Jiva is also of superior energy. He is also Sachidananda. However, the difference is Lord is supremely bigger. The Jiva is infinitesimal, very, very small. The example given, like fire and a spark of the fire. This spark is qualitatively exactly same as the fire. In fact, if you properly take care of that spark has the capability to become the wildfire. Correct? A spark can become wildfire. But it is also possible that you cover that spark with some covering. Because it is very small in nature, you can cover it up. It is not going to switch off. It is not going to become off, but it can get covered. So qualitatively, if you analyze, the Lord is Sachidananda. The Jiva is also Sachidananda. But the Lord is infinite power. The Jiva is infinitesimal power, very small power in comparison to the Lord. But actually speaking, Jiva is also very powerful. You see, if today people are able to make so much of scientific advancement, so many things, if they are able to think, manufacture, design, and all that, it shows how much capability the Jiva has to manipulate with the matter. I'll give you one more example, even much more powerful example. But you have to think about it, then you will realize this. When you have, let's say there is a fertile land, and you sow one mango seed, and in another part of the land you sow one let's say a lemon seed. The mango seed, we all know there is a living entity inside that. It's not dead, it is living. The fertile land that you have given, it is exactly the same for both the mango seed as well as for the lemon seed. It is exactly the same. There's no difference in the land, right? But because that Jiva, that living entity which is sitting inside that mango seed, can turn that mud into a mango tree, and from that mud it can generate a fruit which is very sweet. So if you break it down, it is nothing but the mud. The tree is also mud, the mango is also mud, the leaves are also mud. Everything is nothing but the mud. But the jiva has the power with its intense desire. It can turn the mud into a tree and a fruit. Same, another jiva having a different desire can turn the same mud into a lemon, which has a completely different fragrance or smell or taste, and so forth. You can imagine there are millions and millions of such living entities, and all of them, when you take the body of any of the living entity, it is nothing but panchabhutas. That's what we understand, that it is nothing but mud. Even our body is nothing but mud. Correct? So this mud, when you say water, fire, air, ether, so all of them is part of that. It's one. Right? So how is this body formed? How such complex system is formed? It's because the jiva is so powerful, just by its desire, it can make things which suits to its desire. Is it clear? So, coming back to our point, the Lord is supremely powerful. Thus, he can make planets. Thus, he can make Brahmandas, thousands and thousands and billions of planets, universes. That's the Lord. And the jiva is infinitesimal, is very small, but very powerful, because they belong to the same type of energy. They are of the same category, right? Now, coming to the point, we're slightly digressing, but let me just complete this flow. Then
Um,
we'll.
I'm sorry again. So
Mataji,
Tatastha Shakti, where does that come here?
Tatastha Sakti is the jiva.
Okay,
Jiva,
I am thinking that is inferior energy. Okay.
no. Tatastha Shakti is the jiva. Tatastha means which is sitting at the bank. Tata means bank of a river. It's called
Okay.
Tatastha. So something, a bank of the river, at times it can be inside the river when the water is flowing high. At times it can be on the land when the water is recedes, right? So like that, the jiva, when he associates with the Lord, he becomes as good as the Lord. He becomes as powerful as the Lord, because the Lord empowers him. Okay? He becomes as good as the Lord. Okay? But the jiva,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
maybe this is really high level, I think so. So if I understood the superior and the Tatastha Shakti, so where does this inferior come, like in between?
So inferior is the dead matter.
Okay.
The dead matter is called the inferior energy of the Lord. Okay? Which
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
constitutes of the three modes of material nature, which is nothing but the Panchabhutas, the 8 elements. The
Okay.
Lord Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayuhu Kammano Buddhi Revacha Ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti astadha. These 8 are my separated material energy. So that is the material energy. There is a spiritual energy, there is a material energy. The material energy is a separated energy from the Lord. In other words, the material energy depends on the Lord and is completely under the control of the Lord. Krishna is also saying in Bhagavad Gita that दैवी हेषां गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति. This material energy is my energy. It is the Lord's energy, right? Modern science says that matter has generated spirit. This is what is the evolution theorems like whatever you would have heard about, or the modern science is trying to find out that from matter, spirit has come. But Vedic system says that inferior cannot create superior. Superior can create inferior. So the superior energy, which is the jiva, the living entity, it not only can grow matter, but it can grow it manipulate matter, right? So put it in other way, energy of the Lord is permanent, eternal in nature. Just like the Lord is eternal, his energies are also eternal in nature. The jiva or the living entity or the superior energy plays with the matter. Okay? If when you play with the matter, okay, if you separate it, then that becomes material. In other words, when I see the mango tree and the mango, I can remember two things. One, it is the desire of that jiva, that mango seed, the desire of the jiva, which has taken the shape of this tree and mango. Is it clear? It is, for example, you are cooking rasgulla. What you had is milk. What you had is sugar. It is your desire which has taken the shape of a rasgulla. Correct? Do you agree with me? So, rasgulla, you can see it in two forms. Either you can see it as a rasgulla, as an item, or you can see it as the desire of the person. Do you agree? Do you understand what I'm saying? It is, for example, Prabhupada gives this example of a factory architect. It is the mental design of the architect which has taken externally, it has taken the shape of that factory. It is internally, blueprint is in his mind, externally manifested as the factory. Internally, you have thought to prepare one item. Externally, it manifested as a rasgulla, or it can be rasgulla, it may be a gulab jamun. It is, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so Bhagavad, does that mean that you mentioned Jiva is the Tatastha Shakti? With whatever it associates, it becomes that. Basically, is that right? So here the Tatastha Shakti is trying to associate with inferior Shakti, which is Apara Shakti, and trying to manifest the desires. Is that right?
Desire is an inherent nature of the jiva.
Okay.
Desire is part of the jiva. Dead cannot desire. Only
Okay.
living can desire.
Right.
So the living is the jiva. Jiva desires.
Okay.
Simply like a puppet player. He is playing. When he's playing, you see that some dolls are dancing. Actually, if you sit in front of the game and the puppet player at the back of the scene, you don't see him. You may get attached to one of the doll. You may think, oh, if this doll wins, I will win. It will be good. If this doll loses, you will become sorrow. You will become unhappy. Correct? You get attached to that doll. But if you're sitting next to the person who is playing, he is not happy or unhappy. He is enjoying playing the game. When you are with him also, you also just enjoy. Whoever wins, you enjoy. Whoever loses, you enjoy. Because it is your desire with which that is playing. It is not simply playing on its own. It is playing because
Right.
of your desire that is manifesting. Your desire is manifesting. So you, whatever happens, you are only happy because that's your nature. Similarly, when you see the puppets separately, independent of the puppet player, then you become part of the puppets.
Got
You
it.
become happy or unhappy depending on which puppet you got attached and whether it is lost or won. You become happy or unhappy with that. But if you see the person behind it, the living entity behind it, who is not affected by whichever the puppet he is winning or losing,
Mhm.
then he is only enjoying. He is nothing else he is doing. Whoever wins, he is enjoying. Whoever loses, he is enjoying. When you are sitting next to that puppet player, then you will also enjoy, irrespective of who is winning or who is losing. So,
Okay.
like that, when you understand that, when the material creation is nothing but the architect or the desire of a living entity. So, living entity simply is playing. And in that play, a lot of things are happening. And this one, when you separate it from the player, from the living entity, you get attached to the outcome, what appears externally, which is material in nature. And once it will destroy, once it will get created, once it will grow, once it will be red, once it will be blue, once it will be yellow, once it will be very shining, once it will be dull. So many things will manifest from the matter because of the desire of the living entity. And you are not seeing the living entity behind it. You are constantly seeing the matter, which is constantly changing. And because you are seeing the matter, you start thinking that, oh, this puppet is more interesting to me. You get connected to that puppet. You think if this puppet wins, then that's the good thing for me. And if this puppet loses, then that's bad for me. And if it loses, you see really become very unhappy. Right? So this is called conditioning. Actually, you're nothing happening to you. You are not at all affected. It's nothing related to you. But because you attached yourself with something, you start identifying anything good or bad with your good and bad, and you get affected because of that. Okay, this is called conditioning. So this Tatastha Shakti of the Lord, which is the Jiva, has a has a nature of either he can associate with the Lord, that means the puppet player, or he can associate with the puppets. That is up to him. So if he associates with the puppet player, who is Sachidananda, who is eternally blissful, eternally happy, then he will see the entire creation is just a wonderful game of the Supreme Lord and is always blissful. The very nature of the Lord is happiness, sweet, bliss. That's the nature of the Lord. So his creation also is a reflection of him. So when you are associated with the Lord, you always see how the Lord is a beneficiary, very loving in nature. Just like a person who sees the mother's mind, even if the mother is beating the child, the person will not get disturbed by it. He will be happy because it is for the benefit of the child. One who is able to see the mind of the mother can understand that, right? So like that, Lord is very sweet, very loving, well-wisher of all living it. Suhrudam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shanti ruchyate. Krishna is saying that. I am the well-wisher of all living entities. This is the nature of the Lord. Okay. And this is because he's absolute. Actually, if you come to that level, you will also become well-wisher of all living entities. Okay. Anyway, we'll come back to the point. So, when we associate the Tatastha Shakti, the Jiva has a tendency to can get associated with the Lord or with the inferior energy. If he associates with the Lord, then he will become Sachidananda. He will remain in that position. He will eternally be blissful. But if he associates with the matter, then he will go through all the anxieties. Okay. That's because nature of the material world is constant changing. That's the world. This world is constant change. But your nature is fixed. You don't say today I like this, tomorrow I like this. No, you normally like something. Okay, this is the kind of thing you like, right? It may be good or bad. You may like green or you may like blue. But typically you will get attached to something, right? So, and things will change. The same thing will not be there. So, and you will become naturally sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy. And this is where the cycle of birth and death keeps continuing, because you are identifying yourself as the matter. So whatever you identify yourself, you will see. The one thing we need to understand, the body by itself is a temporary manifestation of your desire. But your desires will continue even if the body changes. Whether you are a child or a baby or a younger or old, the desires will continue. So it continues even after the body changes. It is the same thing. You are continuing with the same thing. So as per your desires, you will be keep manifesting one after the other. Until the time you are satisfied, till the time you want to keep on desiring, you will be continuously doing this. There is no end
So
to that.
Prabhuji, so for Parashakti, it never changes. It is the absolute truth.
1 second. Apara means, I think I told a mistake. Just a second. Para means, okay. Apara is, okay. I have a little confusion there. Para or apara. Okay. Yeah. Tell me. Superior and inferior energy of the Lord. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. So superior is the Parashakti, which
No,
never changes.
I have a little confusion there. Let's call it a superior and inferior. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So superior energy doesn't change. It always be the same.
Yeah.
So what about the inferior? So there it comes the matter, right?
Yes.
Does it change always then?
It always changes. Always changes. As I told you, mud has been.
Ante, so
Mud has,
Panchabhutalu we are saying, right? So they don't change.
they always.
Do they change?
Okay. If you look at the Srishti, okay, this is energy. Energy is eternal, but external, this is also called external energy of the Lord. Okay, the Panchabhuta, whatever the eight items, they are called external. It always changes in the sense, starting, it's only the energy called Mahattattva. From the Mahattattva, it starts converting it into various forms. And then it comes to this Bhumi, Rapa, Anala, Vayu, they all come one after the other. And again, they change back. And to become, it's like you can convert something to solid, then you put it on fire, it becomes gas, it becomes ether. So like that, they change the form, right? It's like that for a simple understanding. Okay.
Also, like you said, fire and the spark of fire.
Mm.
So, so if we think fire as the Lord and
Yeah.
spark of the fire as Jiva,
Yeah.
so in this example of fire, where does this matter come? Like,
Okay. See, the matter is that's what as I told you, matter is also is an energy, is an eternal energy of the Lord. Okay. So there is fire, there is spark. The spark can fall into the fire or out of the fire. Right? So when it's falling out of the fire, that's where the matter is. Actually speaking, there's nothing which is material. You'll confuse if I say that. But the point is this. If you separate it from the Lord, it becomes matter. If you connect it with the Lord, it becomes spiritual. As I told you, if you see the factory, you may think two things. You may see the factory in itself, or you may only see the the design that the architect has in his mind. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, let me give you one more example to understand. Let's say you have two kids. One kid is liking rasgulla, another kid is liking gulab jamun. Okay. Now, you have one ingredients present. Okay. Or from the same milk, let's say one kid is liking milk and one kid likes curd. When you serve the child who likes milk. What are you serving him? Milk. The child who likes curd, you are forming curd and serving it. So are you serving different things? What are you serving? Externally appears like you are serving milk and curd, but if you properly try to understand, it is only the love of the mother which is being served. It is not actually curd or milk. That is an external manifestation. It is not rasgulla or gulab jamun. It is an external manifestation. It is the love of the mother which has taken the form of rasgulla or taken the form of gulab jamun. Right? It is nothing other than that. If you only see the love of the mother, you have nothing to do with rasgulla or gulab jamun. You will only see the love of the mother. That's it. Full stop. There's nothing exists beyond that. But if you see the matter, then you start comparing. Oh, you have a more sweet, less sweet, costly sweet, less costly sweet, this taste, that taste. You understand the point? So the moment you separate it out, actually it is the manifestation of the love of the mother. If you only see the love of the mother, nothing else, then it is absolutely the same. It doesn't exist. Whether rasgulla doesn't exist or gulab jamun doesn't exist. It's only the mother's love which manifested in some form as this is called uh, service. Basically, jiva is a service. You are serving your child, right? It is a love that you are expressing your love through some form to your child. So if you see only that love, nothing else, then what are you seeing? You are only seeing the jiva. Then rasgulla or gulab jamun doesn't exist. It only mother's love which exists. So like that, when you understand that, the entire material energy is just, if you separate it from the Lord, then you start seeing them separately. Then Lord, you don't see the Lord there. You see only the puppets. You don't see the puppeteer. When you have separated it out, then...
But Prabhuji, so here we still need to have that taste or love or whatever you call it towards the Lord also, right? Otherwise, we can't taste it.
Yeah.
The sweetness of the Lord or the love of Lord.
Yeah.
So that comes under again matter, right? So we
No,
still have to have the matter.
No. Any relationship with the Lord is spiritual. Lord does not accept anything material. Any relationship with the Lord is only spiritual. Anything that you see in Vrindavan, you may see, actually this today's verse, Nanda Gopatanayam Paratparam Naradadi Munivrindavanditam. That is the verse we were supposed to read. Anyway, the point is, Nanda Gopatanayam, he is the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And this relationship is not a material relationship. It's a spiritual relationship. When Mother Yashoda is feeding Krishna, it is not matter. It is purely spiritual in nature. Entire Vrindavan Dham is spiritual. There's nothing material in the spiritual world. The only thing, that's why it is said in the spiritual world, the rivers are living, the sand is living, the flowers are living, the trees are living, everything, the walls are living, the money is living, the dress is living, the harem is living, everything is living. The living entity has a desire to serve the Lord in a particular way. He wants, oh, if my Lord is decorated like with a beautiful garland, it is so nice. And that desire, that living entity serves the Lord as a garland. Are you getting what I'm saying? In the spiritual world,
How will you differentiate those two? Like, I don't know, spiritual and materialistic. How will we differentiate?
Okay. So that's a very good question. Spiritual is Sachidananda. Material is Asat, Nirananda, and Ajnana. Exactly the opposite. Okay. So anything which is connected with the Lord, they become of the nature of the Lord. They become as good as the Lord, as beautiful as the Lord, as sweet as the Lord. It is like when the body and a part of the body, right? If I have my finger, this finger is as good as me, as good as my body. But if I cut it, the moment I have cut it, it is dead. It is not, it has no value for me. It is, when it is connected with me, whatever I'm enjoying, let's say I eat food, I get the energy, my finger gets the energy. But if it is cut, it doesn't get that energy, correct? So, like that, when you separate anything from the Lord, that becomes material. But actually, you cannot separate anything from the Lord, because the Lord is the Adharam, is the Lord personally says, I am the source for anything. I am the refuge for everything, right? I am the controller for everything. So there is nothing you can actually separate from the Lord. If you understand that aspect, then nothing is separated from the Lord. There's nothing like material. That's what I told you. That there's nothing like Rasgulla or Gulab Jamun. It is your thinking. You are separated. You are not able to see the love of the mother. You are seeing, with the moment you saw Gulab Jamun, you are not seeing the mother of the love of the mother. If
But still, we are getting the satisfaction, right? That, I
that
want to eat gulab
satisfaction,
jamun and I'm eating it.
see, it need not be Gulab Jamun. It may be sweet words. It may be a different way of exchanging it. It could be any form. That is why in the spiritual world also, there is constant manifestation of different types of services. They make garlands, they make butter, they make so many things. It is their desire to serve the Lord, which manifests in different ways. But that doesn't separate it. The only thing Krishna doesn't see, you have given me mango or pineapple. He is not seeing that.
The
Krishna
love.
is, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam
Phalam toya.
Yo me bhaktya prayachati. So if you, what he sees the love. He has nothing to do with the matter. He doesn't actually touch the matter. That's the nature of the absolute truth. That's why he's called absolute, because he never touches matter. There's nothing in the creation, in the material world, that you can offer to Krishna. He will not touch. He will not even look at it. Right? Only thing that you can give to the Lord is that loving relationship, that love. How will you serve with love? how the love is manifested. If I say, oh, I love my child, I love my child, I love my child, may not make sense. So Krishna exhibits various desires, though he has no desire. That is part of Leela. He simply exhibits desire so that the living entities who are his part and parcels, Krishna only likes one thing: play, enjoy. See, in this particular verse, I wanted to speak about that. We have 2 minutes. I'll just go there and I'll cover this point. See, Chintayami Harineva Santatam. Maybe next class she will continue. She will take the proper description about this. Chintayami Harimeva Santatam. Mandahasa Muditananambujam. Nandagopatanayam Paratvaram. Naradadi Munivrindavanditam. So this is the particular verse. Okay. See, the Lord is always blissful. It is mentioned in the Upanishads that the entire creation is only the expression of his bliss. What is this whole creation? It is only his bliss that manifests the whole thing. Where is bliss? Bliss doesn't come with one person. If you are alone, the whole world is opulences you have, but you are only person. Not even a bird or a tree or any other living entity is there next to you. So how will you enjoy? Enjoyment comes in exchange of rasa between two living entities. So the jivas and the Lord, they exchange that sweet mellow. And that exchange of the mellow is what is called, is what the Lord is always doing. Okay. So the coming to the point. Okay. So why the material? Actually, there is nothing material. Everything is spiritual. If you understand that it is just expression of the bliss of the Lord, it's only a rasa. The living entity and the Lord are exchanging that particular sweet mellow. Okay. Then it is like, it's not like mother is cooking this and giving this dress, that dress, this item, that. It's not that. It's only loving relationship which is being exchanged between the mother and the child. Nothing else. All other things are just external manifestation. It may manifest as a dress. It may manifest as a some gift item. It may manifest as a food. It may manifest as a place. It may manifest as a picnic. It may manifest as many things. But actually none of them are actually a separate thing or it exists by itself. It's only the loving exchange of the relationship of the mother with the child. That's all is existing. So that way, when you understand, the whole creation is nothing but a loving relationship between the Lord and the jivas. When you can understand that, then the whole creation is filled with the same nature as the Lord, which is Sachidananda, which is always blissful, which is always happy, right? Which is eternal, which is full of all knowledge, right? So that's the nature of the Lord. And that also becomes your nature. Because you belong to that nature. But unfortunately, you have not recognized that. And you started thinking that, oh, I'm part of the, I'm attached to this puppet and this puppet is me and whatever happens to the puppet happens to me. So you've forgotten the personality behind that. So which is not your nature, you go through the suffering cycle, right? Anyway, so we started with the Mukunda Mala Stotra. So, but that's an introduction for us to understand how the spiritual world and the devotees have expressed their loving relationship that mellows of glorifying the Lord. See, the Lord is infinitely glorified. There is no end to the glorification of the Lord. Even a great person in this world, your whole life also you can't glorify. Personality like the Supreme Lord, even if millions of lifetimes, if someone wants to glorify the Lord, still the words will not be sufficient. Okay? So, all these great poets, great sadhus, sorry about that. So, all these great personalities, they expressed, glorified the Lord because of their understanding. They understand how sweet the Lord is. So they started glorifying the Lord. That's what we see in all these works. Okay. And anything which is connected with the Lord is non-different from the Lord. That's what we started today, right? Yeah.
Prabhuji, so Jiva, if you say Jiva, do you call it as soul or the
Yeah.
body?
Soul.
Soul? Soul, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So body also comes under the matter,
Yes.
is it?
Yeah. It's made up of matter. When you actually, if the
Okay.
person leaves the body, it becomes mud, right? If you leave the
Okay, yes.
body, it becomes mud. It is mud. Mud, when I say, it could be water, air, fire, gases, it could be anything. All comes under the same pattern, same thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we can say it this way. So the soul is pure, uh, but as we grow, we accumulate all the impurities.
As we get conditioned, I'm thinking I'm the body. I'm constantly thinking I'm the body. See, I'm sitting inside the body. I'm as a teacher. So I think I'm a teacher. I'm American. I'm an Indian. I'm Hindu. I'm Muslim. I'm a man. I'm a woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an engineer. I'm a doctor. These are all conditioning. They're called birudu. They are called titles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The
Mm.
moment you put a title on yourself, you start identifying yourself with that. If a doctor is scolded, all doctors in the world will think, oh, they are scolded. See, because they identify themselves. If an Indian is scolded, if India wins the market, that's what I started with. If India is winning, why every Indian is happy? Because they identify themselves with India.
Okay. Yeah.
You get the point. So that is called conditioning. You have nothing to do with the whole world is one. See, we bifurcated. This is India, this is America, this is this. We bifurcated. We put a line there. There's nothing, no such line is there. That doesn't exist. But we have just marked it. And we started identifying ourselves with that marking. And we started thinking, if this happens, this is good for me. So this is called conditioning. So like that, we identify ourselves with the body, but we have nothing to do with the body. Just like I told you, the body is the manifestation of my desire. The mango tree is the manifestation of the desire of the mango, that living entity which is sitting in the mango seed. That seed, that living entity has a particular type of desire. And it, just like you may play, if you leave two children in the sand, one will make a temple, one will make, let's say, park. Actually, both of them are sand only. There is no difference between the two. It is absolutely sand only. Is there any difference? There is no difference. It is actually sand, nothing else. But one has carved a temple, one carved a park. It is the mental desire of the person which has taken the shape. So like that, my desire has made this body for me. Every living entity is desired, whatever. So, and you get attached to it. Once you make this sand, from this sand, you have made a temple. Now you get attached to the temple. Now you start thinking, oh, this is my temple. If something happens to this, is like somebody scolds this temple, I am unhappy. Somebody praises, I become happy. So I get attached to that. So anything happens to that becomes me. So like that, my desire has formed this body. I start feeling that this body is me. Somebody says, oh, you are tall. Okay, good. If you are dwarf, oh, not good. You are black, not good. You are white, good. So and so forth.
Prabhuji, you call it Dvaitam or Advaitam? What do we call this?
Mataji, that is a much deeper concept. We'll go to that separately. Okay.
No, the supreme and like fire and the spark of fire, you said. So that is nothing but Advaitam, is my understanding.
Okay. So, Mataji, the point is, so there is Dvaitam, Advaitam, Visishta Advaitam, and also there are other subdivisions are there. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the founder, who the Supreme Lord himself, who appeared as Kali Yuga avatar, he mentioned that the scriptures, they describe both Dvaitam, also Advaitam. There are verses in the scripture, maybe that is a longer chapter, but discussion, we can do that later. There are verses in the scriptures which support Dvaitam, which directly say Dvaitam. They're separate. There are also verses in the scripture which directly say they are the same. They're absolutely the same. So, Advaitam. There are also some mixed verses are there. One thing we need to understand, everything in scripture is correct. There is no mistake in the scripture. That is the fundamental, foundational understanding. There cannot be a flaw in the Vedas. Okay? Everything in Veda is correct. There is no comma, full stop mistake. Okay? So that is what is Veda. That is what is the scriptures. Okay? They are absolutely correct. Now, Vedas talk about Advaitam. They talk about Dvaitam. So how do we understand? So this is where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Lord himself, he appeared and he clarified. He clarified saying that this is Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. That means Achintya means inconceivable. It is beyond your understanding. What you can't even think, you can't even imagine, understand. Achintya. Bheda means they are separate. Abheda means they are same. So, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this is Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. That is the philosophy. Okay. So, Krishna is married 16,108 wives. With every wife, he had 10 children. Krishna danced with millions of gopis. And Krishna is declared by all the acharyas, by all the scriptures as Ajanma Brahmachari. He absolutely never touched a woman. This is what the scriptures very clearly declare. So how will you understand this? This is what is called Achintya. The Lord is beyond your understanding. You cannot understand that. So everything about the Lord is correct. Okay, everything about the Lord means everything told in the scriptures is correct. Not everything I'd say correct. Everything mentioned in the scriptures is perfect, is correct. There is absolutely no mistakes in the scripture. They are called amala. Amala means one which doesn't have a mala. Mala means dirt. There's no dirt in the scriptures. There's nothing wrong in the scriptures. Okay. I think we jumped over the time. I don't want to hold all of you for a long time. So, is that okay? Any question from anybody? One more question. Otherwise, we can close the session for the day. Mataji, is it okay? Yeah. I think all of you are on mute. So,
That's Prabhuji. No questions. Thank you.
okay, so anybody else was speaking?
No,
Okay.
Prabhuji, it was a nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It was little deeper actually, but then yeah, definitely we'll try to learn. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we offer obeisances at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees, and then we'll close the class. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. So I'm exiting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata.